Welcome to everyone who is following me on the regular basis, and I wanted to release this channel update video because I'm planning some, I would say, subtle changes in the future, nothing major, and it's not really related to the New Year's or the end of the year. It was just happened to be at the same time. Up until now, I was always making sort of random videos because most of these videos were about things that are interested me or things that I have just gotten over the post to make a video about or review about, and things that are happened around me, like I needed to do some automation and it was a cool one, so I thought I'm just going to make a video to share it with anyone who is interested. So I wasn't really looking at like what YouTube is doing, how the channel is performing, what people are watching, whether I should make videos that are more popular than others. And I think this is the area that I'm planning to do some changes on. It's mostly because I got a little bit more interested in that, like just understanding how the information that also YouTube gives you and what information you get out of your subscribers and viewers and what people are interested in general. And so I subscribe to some online training where I can just learn a little bit, like, okay, how to look up keywords, how to add keywords to your videos to make it easier for viewers to find, and also if you are looking for specific keywords, how to look up something where similar keywords that are searched by users. Therefore, if you should consider making a video on that subject. And that's the thing that got me a little bit interested, and I think I want to go into that area. So that's one thing. So maybe if I can just understand this a little bit better, like if there is anything that I have some knowledge about and I can put some video together, so I can share it. So I was even thinking like, okay, I did some random videos about Node-RED, some of them I think probably some advanced stuff, how you can do some complicated reporter function in Node-RED. But what if I would go back to the beginning? Is there anything which is a well-defined area within Node-RED that I can do a video about? So it might not be the type of things that I was doing in the future, but again, the type of things that most people are looking for. And I wouldn't say probably like Node-RED tutorials from the beginning, because probably there are examples of that in the on YouTube already, or other places where you can find tutorials. But still some areas, like for example, the way I did, like, okay, what is the best way of using Modbus and Modbus communication within Node-RED, and maybe I can look something similar, like something in general, how you can use MQTT, which hasn't been described before. Maybe bits and pieces here and there has been described, and I also mentioned a lot in my projects, but not as in, okay, this is all you need to know about this subject. The other source of videos that I have is things that I either get in the mail or things that I buy, and that has changed somewhat, I think, as well, because I had some companies who come and go. Sometimes they just come back and then they just drop me an email. Sometimes they just disappear. So for example, I haven't heard from Shelly for a couple of weeks, although I released a video recently. I let my contact know that, okay, there is this video, I think it's quite good, so you might want to look at it. And they haven't responded, but maybe it's just the holiday season, so they will come back in the new year. I mean, Sonoff is up and running, and I think I have even more emails and stuff from them. And just today I received this. This is a new Extreme. I think this is an Extreme with a no neutral wire, so that's interesting. Even though the previous Extreme is only sort of coming soon. Oh, this is Zigbee. But so it's a Zigbee Mini, but also the small form factor. So it's a Zigbee Mini Extreme. And something else I didn't even know about, it's a Zigbee curtain motor. So, oh, that could be interesting. I haven't seen them in their site, so that could be nice to look at as well. And I think there is a new Zigbee temperature sensor that is out. I might get one of those as well. I'm not sure. I also have this. Actually, my father-in-law picked this up from AliExpress. This is a Modbus Remote I/O module. They are quite interested in this because they have a lot of automation where you have some, remote sensors or something that you need to control. So, instead of taking wires for all the digital output, you can have this remote I/O. So this particular model can handle 4 analog inputs, 4 digital outputs, and it also has a Modbus on it. So you can daisy chain Modbus serial units to this one and then read them out using, there is a network port. So using TCP. It looks nice. He said it was cheap, it was really good price. So if it works fine, then they would use it more often in upcoming projects. So I think I'm going to play around with that. I was even thinking that maybe I can do like a live video of trying to figure it out how it works. I've partially done that already, but in probably like setting up more complicated scenarios. So that could be interesting. And also, I don't know what's going to be in the future. Maybe there are going to be some new companies. I always get some emails. There is always like IP cameras, but I'm just like, there is not so much new in IP cameras. And I think it makes more sense to stick to a brand and try to look at the different models within one brand. So for that reason, I'm hoping that Reolink is going to come back if they have anything new that they want to share, even though they did release a few new products in a couple of months. So again, I think I've not turned them down, but I haven't responded during the summer when I was really busy with all the train stuff. I don't know if it's like they got mad or something, but that could be one, or they could just generally moved on to other YouTubers to promote them. Oh, by the way, this is something I got for this Christmas thing from Sonoff as well. So that's the Sonoff t-shirt that I mentioned previously, but now you can see it. So these are the things, and of course there is going to be some new stuff as well. I'm planning to buy a small electric car, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be projects around like, setting up charging and monitoring consumption and reporting and that sort of stuff. So that could be in the making in a few months. In terms of products, I don't really have anything else other than the ones that I showed you. So nothing else. I was also looking at these battery sort of like portable battery products. So I purchased one of the smallest Bluetti ones, which is in the post. I was supposed to get it by Christmas, but they have out of stock, so probably it's coming in January. So that would be interesting to look at as well. I've never used anything like that before. It's a small unit, 600 watts output, and I think 718 watt hours. So it's not a huge one. It's not really for power tools. It's more like sort of like the camping gear where you want to power lights and then some lower power accessories, like you can charge phone as well, but that would be like a really beefy phone charger. I think it would be just an overkill for phones. But yeah, if you are going away in the woods with and you need to charge a slightly bigger stuff like a laptop or have lights in the evening, I think that would be the type of application for that. I think it's like only a 3 or 4 kilo product. So it's not that heavy. So that's it. And as I said, I'm hoping to get more Shelleys. Definitely they have loads of new products out that I haven't seen. And yeah, probably Sonoff is coming. Again, Reolink, I'm hoping to get some new stuff from them. And going back to this whole sort of like, not so much promotion, but this free review product thing is that the reason I was thinking to look more into this whole analytics and understanding YouTube part, because if I can grow this channel bigger, besides the the ad revenue and the money that I get from YouTube, I can probably get some other people to be interested in sending me stuff. So that would probably open up what I can review and what I can talk about in this channel, and potentially things that I wouldn't buy for myself because I don't really need that. So I wouldn't spend my own money on some, slightly more expensive stuff. But then if it's sent over the mail, then yeah, of course I can review it and I might just end up using it. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't really considering any using any cameras in my house. But after I got the Reolink ones and I started the integration and the camera sending me pictures whenever is somebody pushing the doorbell on the door, that was great. And this came about after I received my first camera. So once you have these things, your mind starts working, and then you figure out you realize new ways of doing that. And the reason I have this screen setup that you can see here, because I just wanted to bring up some of the analytics screens from my YouTube, and also talk about, when I talk about changes, I mean that by looking at what my viewers are, or what people are interested in, if you are regular, I don't know if you have ever seen any of my SAP GUI scripting videos. So I work as an SAP consultant, and this is something that I used a lot, and I thought it's a really good thing. And it turns out that this gets probably by far the most views. I would say most of the regular views on my channel. So it would be a good idea just to look back into this area and then maybe create more videos, more basic, more explanatory videos, maybe break the topic into smaller manageable videos. As you can see, this is the first, and the main video is like 47 minutes. So maybe I can do something like, understanding basics, that sort of stuff. So I think I would probably do that in January. For some reason, this Shelly 3 EM video is also getting a lot of views. I mean, I can understand now, it's like, all with the energy crisis, and then people are more mindful of what they are consuming. So this is something that people are interested in. And I've done a lot of, Shelly related stuff when I monitor my solar and, general consumption, that I'm using Shelly as the Shelly 3 EM as well. So I think I could do more things around sort of energy monitoring, although probably I have to research a little bit more, like why people are finding these Shelly 3M videos, what are the keywords that they are showing that YouTube offers them this, and just understand it a little bit better, like what is the real interest there. And probably the other all-time favorite is, it's again a really old video. If you remember this scrappy old Son of Basic 1, which, oops, I didn't want to do that. So that's the not Son of Basic 1, Son of Basic Release 1. And I made a video on how you can just do some hardware hacking in order to make it like a dry contact, what the garage door opener expects. And this has been a very popular video. I don't know, maybe it's the title, maybe it's the thumbnail, something else, but this has been viewed a lot, as you can see, 300,000 views. And even though it is really difficult to find this Son of Basic Release 1 anymore, because it's well, we have Release 2 and Release 3, and they all have a different hardware layout, and the PCB is much denser. So a lot of people ask me how I can do it in the Release 2, and I said, like, well, I wouldn't do it because it's so difficult to cut those traces that I did for the Release 1. And with the exception of the 4CH Pro, there is no other product from Sonoff which could do the same stuff. So that's an interesting one as well. And I've done a few other videos on, there are some dedicated garage door openers, but still people seem to find this one. And you can see GUI scripting again. And then, yeah, there is a lot of InfluxDB stuff, and some other recent videos that appear to be interesting. I think this InfluxDB is again, I try to touch it every time I do something on reporting stuff, but yeah, of course, the basics, like, okay, how you get in, how you install it, and how you get started, that could be also useful. So yeah, these are my thoughts, and And also when I'm doing this training, there is a lot of other things like how you can just feed YouTube, algorithm, with videos that I mean, I wouldn't consider very useful, but things that people just watch, maybe just like, some background music stuff that, I mean, I also listen to sometimes music, sometimes the things that are just, happening in the background, some, not even background music, but like, ambient sounds, that sort of stuff. So I was thinking that maybe when I finished with the videos that I mentioned before, I can just, create a second channel for all this, let's say, rubbish or unrelated topics, I would say. And and to be honest, if I also look at the traffic sources, you can see most of my viewers come from YouTube search and external. And I think the external is important for me because I do create a lot of videos which get shared on other social media, not by me, but by either the companies who I review the products. So like I have seen my videos coming up in the AliExpress listings of the product that I was reviewing. If you remember, back in the day, I've done a lot of videos from IC Station, like these small modules, relays, really cheap stuff. And some of them, there was this timing relay thing, which also got a lot of views. A lot of people got interested in, and I realized that a lot of people use it to automate chicken coop doors, and okay, great. So that was one. And for example, they also included most of my videos in the video listing. So that is responsible most of these external videos. And I think also the geography is interesting because as you can see, India is the 4th place, and I think that's because of SAP. So if you are Indian guys and looking for SAP stuff, then just give me a shot. And well, yeah, Germany, US, UK is the top one. And what was the other thing that I mean, yeah, the viewer age is not really unexpected, and I think the viewer gender is less surprising, I guess. And so the subscription status is basically 93% of my traffic is non-subscribed viewers. So these are just guys just searching for something, and my video comes up in the top of the recommendation. This is why I said that, well, at least for me, whether I have X number of subscribers or Y number of subscribers, I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference because, I mean, in the comments, I do see the names coming up from time to time, but I think it looks like that most of the things is just coming from sort of like the random guy who just searches looking for a specific subject or has some issues and looking for an answers on YouTube. So I think that would be it for now. I mean, of course, you can also help me out with anything that is it could be interesting. I mean, I did mention a few things, even with the Node-RED stuff, or why Shelly 3M is important, or why Shelly 3M is popular, and maybe you also have some ideas that I haven't think about, and just worth revisiting or mentioning again, or just putting the same thing in a different perspective, approaching the same issue from a different angle, maybe which is maybe just a simpler angle, but it could be more interesting for a lot more people that are out there instead of sort of my approach. And also, since I just mentioned the approach, I also want to say that I think I'm just going to keep these like tools and software ecosystems in the channel. So when I talk about Sonoff, I mean, of course, I get asked a lot, like, okay, can you use it in Home Assistant? Can you flash Desmoto on it? And I would just point to other channels, mostly because I don't know Home Assistant well enough in order to talk. I think there are a lot of people who can make a lot better Home Assistant videos than I do, and I just don't have the time to properly learn Home Assistant. And also in most cases, I have to say that I receive these products and I just put them on the shelf, and then whenever I just need to look at them or use it in a different project, usually a video project, I look it up. But I would say that especially for the Sonoff, like probably 80% of the products I don't use on a daily basis in the house. And well, most probably even the sensors. You can see the Shelly, new Shelly Plus HNT is here. Actually, my Sonoff HNT is there, the Zigbee ones, that I can easily reuse, like, because I pair them up with the NS Panel Pro for the review video, and after a couple of days I just move them over to my Zigbee to MQTT network, and they just happily live there. But for some of the other Sonoff, I don't usually, flash them to Tasmota, because in most cases I just don't need them for, to be running Tasmota. And if I would need that product for another video later on, then it's good that it's still running Sonoff. So I think it's for that reason I would just keep them. And also when I'm making review videos, I would just stick to what you can do with the EV-Link, because as I said, there are really good Home Assistant videos out there, and how you flash Tasmota. But probably less people are talking about the the really basic things, which I think still most of the people buy these products for, because they are cheap, they are easy to set up, and of course there are still a lot of us which buy it only just to flash and then use it for a different ecosystem. But I think that's fine, and probably ITID also knows about that. So I think that would be all I wanted to say, and just because New Year's is coming up, so I wish you a happy New Year, and see you again in 2023.